All right, everybody. Make sure y'all come in. Make sure y'all like, y'all tag, y'all share, y'all engage. Listen, today's gonna be an amazing show. I'm telling you, this is the second episode of Money Talk Mondays. I'm extremely excited about this show and about what we're gonna be talking about. Once again, I am your host with the most, Jawaan Sween, and this is Money Talk Mondays. And the whole objective of this show is for us to learn so that we can eventually earn. I don't want to just learn about money. I want to earn some money. I want to build some wealth so that I can also put my family and those that I love and those that I keep close to me in a better financial position. And I know that you want to do the same thing as well. But again, I encourage everybody to come on in from wherever you are. You could be driving, you could be in the kitchen cooking, maybe you on your lunch break, but take a moment just to tap in, tune in, and just to listen to these wonderful gems that you are going to hear on the show. Again, I'm not going to try to be long. I want to get right to the point, but again, I want everybody to please tag everybody that you know. Please share this broadcast and allow it to be a blessing to those that you want to tap in. I believe that, this information is very life changing. A lot of the information I've learned, it has definitely changed the course of my financial status and the trajectory in which I'm going in. And it has given me a lot of insight financially to improve in my financial journey. And I want this information to also be a blessing to you and your family and your friends as well, so that you can also become financially successful. So listen, let's get into the second episode of Money Talk Mondays. Today we're gonna be talking about the cash flow quadrant. The cash flow quadrant. I dare to type that in the comment section below. The cash flow quadrant. This is a book that I read when I was 19 years old. I read this book when I was 19 years old by a gentleman named Robert Kiyosaki. So we're gonna break down the cash flow quadrant. All right, let's get into today's lesson. So Rich Dad's cash flow quadrant, it succinctly breaks up the construct of society into four main quadrants. Four main quadrants. Somebody put that in the comment section. Four main quadrants. And it elaborates on how people can become rich by stationing themselves in one or more of these quadrants. I'm going to say that one more time. So the book Cash Flow Quadrant, it succinctly breaks up the construct of the society into four main quadrants and elaborates on how people can become rich by stationing themselves in one or more of these quadrants. Okay, so that is the whole objective of the cash flow quadrant. That's the whole objective of the cash flow quadrant. So let's delve into it. All right, let's delve into what this book really means and what the key takeaways from the cash flow quadrant is. So again, there are four main quadrants that we have to consider and that we have to talk about. All right. The first quadrant is employee, which is the E quadrant. The second quadrant is self-employed, which is the S quadrant. The third quadrant is the B, which is the business owner quadrant. And the last quadrant is I, and it stands and represents investor quadrant. All right. So let's break down the first quadrant, E. Now, what does the employee mean? What is the E quadrant? So the E quadrant are people that have a job and that work for someone else. Okay? That is the E quadrant. The employee quadrant or the E quadrant means that people, they have a job, they work a job, which means that they work for someone else. Their special tagline is I need a safe and secure job with benefits. That's the employee's tagline. Now, one thing that we got to understand is that we were taught growing up how to go to school, get good grades, so that we can get a good paying job, a safe and secure job. That is the philosophy and the ideology that we grew up believing, that our parents embedded into us, that our grandparents instilled into us. We go to school, we get good grades. I'm not saying don't get good grades or go to school. And then your ultimate goal is to come out of school and get a good paying job, a safe and secure job. The key word for employees or people that work a job is security and safety. Safety and security. Safety and security. And people in the E quadrant, as employees, they prioritize job security more than financial freedom. They prioritize and they focus more on being secure at their job than being financially free. So that's something that you got to take into consideration. They prioritize job security over financial freedom. So if you want to remain in the E quadrant, then continue to prioritize job security over financial freedom. But if you no longer want to remain in the E quadrant, then you have to prioritize financial freedom, and you got to focus more on financial freedom than you do job security. All right? So is everybody following? Because again, I want to make this very clear to a lot of us. It's not wrong to have a job. It's not bad to have a job. But I believe that it's absolutely bad, or it's negative, or it can be a liability if you work a job for the rest of your life. That's why I kind of get on a lot of people that complain about building a business or establishing an empire for 40 plus years, but they have no problem working a job for the man. They have no problem being caught up in a rat race, working for somebody else's dream and vision for 40 plus years on a job. They don't have any control as an employee. You have no control over your time. You got to ask your boss when to take off. You got to even ask your boss when to go to the bathroom. So you have no control as an employee. If you stay in the E quadrant, you have absolutely no control. So we got to learn as individuals that want a better lifestyle for ourselves, individuals that want more in life, individuals that really want to achieve financial success and prosperity. We got to learn how to jump from the E quadrant to all of the other quadrants, the B and the I quadrant. And I'm going to touch on those later on. We got to learn how to prioritize financial freedom, financial literacy, financial education, wealth, riches, assets over job security. Because being secure at your job is going to allow you to keep on living paycheck to paycheck. And I don't know about you, but living paycheck to paycheck is not a lifestyle that I desire to live. Do you want to live paycheck to paycheck? If the answer is no, I dare to type that in the comment section. I refuse to live paycheck to paycheck. I'm going to do everything I can in my power to learn about financial literacy, about the things of finance, and I'm going to prioritize financial freedom over job security to put myself and my family in a better financial position. Come on, I dare to type that in the comment section below. So that's the E quadrant. They work for the man. They have no time. They have no control over their money. Your boss tells you how much you're going to make, and they determine your worth while you're working at that job. So if they want to pay you $10 an hour, they're going to pay you $10 an hour. They want to pay you $12 an hour, they're going to pay you $12 an hour. If they want to pay you $5 an hour, they're going to pay you $5 an hour. You know why? Because you are not in control of how much money you make. But as a boss, as an entrepreneur, as the CEO of your own life, you have the power to determine how much you are worth. And you have the power to determine how much you can make and how much you can compensate yourself. So that's the E quadrant. Employee, they have a job and they work for someone. Again, having a job is not a bad thing because your job can be utilized as your biggest investor. You can utilize the funds and the capital that you're making from your job to help fund your business. That's a good strategy. But if you stay at a job for the rest of your life with no assets coming in, you have no businesses you're establishing, then that's a problem. Because I never met anybody that became wealthy or rich by just working a job alone. So that's the E quadrant. I'm moving on. The next quadrant is self-employed. Somebody put self-employed in the comment section below. Now the self-employed or the S quadrant, it means that you own a job. So we just talked about having a job, working for somebody else, right? But as a self-employed individual, you own a job. Yes, you are in control of your time. Yes, you are in control of how much you can make. Yes, you are technically your own boss as a self-employed individual. Yes. However, somebody say however, you have to work a lot of hours You have to put in a lot of hours in order for you to make the money that you desire to make. So it's technically a job. You're technically still an employee, self-employed. You just work for yourself, but you're working tirelessly because you are trying to make up and work those hours to make the money that you want to make. For example, you have barbers. You think of barbers. They got to cut a certain amount of heads in order to make the money that they want to make. So if they want to make $500 a day, they got to cut about 20 plus heads in order for them to make that $500 a day. So being a self-employed individual technically means that you are still trading time for money. You are still trading time for money. You got to work tirelessly. You got to work 18 to 20 hours, sometimes even 60 hours a week just to make the money that you want to accumulate and that you want to amass, that you want to bring in order for you to have the lifestyle that you want. So you got to work like a dog in order to bring the money that you want to desire to bring in. That's trading time for money. That's what employees do. And quite frankly, that's what self-employed individuals do as well. Although they are technically their own boss, they control their schedule, they control their time, they control how much money they want to make. They have to work tirelessly. They have to work themselves like a dog. They got to work themselves like a slave. They got to work hours upon hours upon hours upon hours to accumulate the money that they want to generate. Now, at first, that seems cool. But over time, that can get very boring. That can get very tiring and exhausting. But the key to becoming wealthy is not just by working hard alone, but it's by working smart. Somebody put work smart in the comment section. You got to learn how to work smart as an entrepreneur. As somebody that is adopting an entrepreneurial mentality, you got to think about working smarter, not harder. Because I know a lot of broke people that work hard. But I know a lot of rich people and wealthy people that work smart. Because broke people and poor people, they work. They work like a dog for the rest of their lives. But rich people, they think. Wealthy people, they think. They use their brain to come up with different strategies, methods, ideas, principles, concepts, schemes, and projects to help them create generational wealth. They're not so immersed about working hard because they understand that you can work hard and come up short. You can work hard and still remain poor. You can work hard and still be broke. You can work hard and still live paycheck to paycheck. But if you learn how to work smart, that's when your life will change. So that's self-employed. You're still trading time for money. And if you want to earn more, then you have to devote more time to your work. If you want to earn more money, you got to devote more time to your work. Unlike employees, they do not enjoy the benefits of medical allowances and paid leaves. They do not even have the luxury of falling sick because their work will get impacted in their absence. That's another thing I forgot to mention. As an employee and as a self-employed individual, if you do not show up to work, you do not get paid for the day you didn't show up. If you are absent from your job because you're sick, because you had a family emergency, because you wanted to take a mental health day, they are not going to pay you for the time you did not show up. So in order for you to make money as an employee and as a self-employed individual, you have to be presently working. You don't get paid even in your absence. No, you get paid by being present. And if you are absent, you're not going to get paid. That's another disadvantage of being a self-employed individual and being an employee. So that's self-employed. Let me know if I'm making sense, man. If I'm making sense, somebody put amen in the comment section below. Somebody put the 100 emoji. Somebody do something. Somebody put, you making sense. You talking that talk. All right, so I'm moving on. So that was the second quadrant. That's self-employed. The first quadrant, to recap, was employee. The second quadrant was self-employed. Now the third quadrant is business owner. This is a quadrant we should all be striving for. We should all be striving to fall into this category. The B quadrant. Somebody put the B quadrant. Business owner is the quadrant. This means that they own a system and a process. You own a system and a process as a business owner. You own a system. That's the key word, system. Somebody put systems in the comment section below. As a business owner, the key to building generational wealth, the key to becoming wealthy, the key to becoming rich as a business owner is creating a system that you can implement, which allows other employees and people to work for you, your company, your corporation, and your establishment. That's how you generate capital. That's how you generate income. That's how you generate revenue. And that's how you generate wealth. Come on, somebody. I'm talking in here. I'm talking this afternoon, man. So that's a business owner. If you want to get rich, then this quadrant is for you. This group of people owns the system or process where people work for them. Again, I'm going to reiterate this and recapitulate this. If you want to become wealthy as a business owner, your ultimate goal should be hiring other people that can work for you, hiring other individuals that can work for your company. You can't do the work alone and expect to become rich and wealthy the way you desire to become rich. You can't build wealth just working by yourself. You need a team of people that can work collectively. You need a team of people that you can hire that can work for your establishment, your corporation, your enterprise, your business, your company, your organization. You feel what I'm saying? So if you really desire to become wealthy, then you have to have other people working for you. You got to create a system. See, one thing about McDonald's and all these other fast food entities, they have a system in place that they can work for a lifetime. They hire employees that work for their franchise. And every time the employee is making money, that company is getting richer and richer and richer and wealthier and wealthier and wealthier. And they're generating more profit by the day, by the hour, by the minute, by the second. And they are in control of their time. They're in control of their schedule. And they don't even have to be present. They don't have to be working on the job. They don't even have to be in the facility. They don't have to be in the edifice or the building to generate revenue. They can be in Dubai. They could be in Paris. They can be all across the globe, traveling, on vacation, spending time with family. But guess what? They know that they're going to get that direct deposit every single day. They're going to get that Cash App. They're going to get that Zelle, that PayPal, that Venmo every single day. They're going to get that check in the mail every single day. They're going to have that residual and passive income coming in every single day. Why? Because they have a what? System that they've created, which has allowed them to hire other people to work for their business and their establishment. If you want to become a business owner, my sister and my brother, I suggest you learn everything you need to learn and that you need to know about becoming a business owner. All right? Business owners, they recognize their own inability to perform all tasks well. So instead, they leverage their ability to find and cultivate talented people to work for them. They hire competent talent and then delegate as much as possible. When compared to self-employed people who cannot stop working if they want a regular income, business owners have the option to take a break from work. They own the system and have the confidence that their employees will work for them and that their business will be well taken care of, even in their absence. Being a successful business owner requires ownership or control of systems and the ability to lead people. That's a business owner in a nutshell. That's a business owner. If you want to own a business and generate wealth from your business,